Alright guys, so today's video is going to be so good that it shouldn't be free here on YouTube, okay? And what I mean by that, guys, is that I really want to start to share with you guys some of the most valuable insights that I've been starting to not only learn, but also experience from slowly but surely experimenting a little bit of compounding as well as exponential growth. Not only in terms of revenue, not only in terms of the actual online presence, small or big, that I could have been leveraging in the last couple of months and weeks, but I also want to break down this video in two parts. Specifically, number one, what we all as entrepreneurs can learn from content marketing. And also, I want to walk you over the role of content when it comes to client acquisition, okay? It's not only the importance of content, because everybody talks about the 7-hour rule. Everybody talks about, lead nurturing instead of lead generation when it comes to leveraging your content when you're getting started. But I also want to talk with you guys about how you can have some sort of one-on-one relationship between your outbound prospecting efforts as well as your content. And then once you have your offer validated, how you can change the way you approach content creation so that you can add another client acquisition engine that it actually allows you to have exponential as well as compounding growth, not only with your content, but in your client acquisition arsenal, if that makes sense, okay? Before we begin, like I always like to tell you, make sure to watch this video at 2x speed. That way you're going to save yourself some time. And number two, guys, you can get the presentation that I'm going to walk you over on my free Facebook group that you can find with the link in the description. If you don't use Facebook that much, you can also just go and follow me on Instagram and DM me the word access, okay? Access. And that way I can just send you this document as well as all of the other ones that I use in my YouTube videos, okay? That said, guys, let me just walk you over the biggest lessons that I've learned in the last couple of weeks, guys. So, as you can see here, this curve that you're seeing is pretty much what explains compounding growth. What compounding growth means at its core is pretty much that the efforts that you put in today, you're not going to see today. You're going to see someday in the future. At its core, that's what it's going to look like. And of course, the actual meaning behind this is that tomorrow, aka that today of tomorrow, the same thing is going to happen. You're not going to see the results tomorrow, but the day after tomorrow, if that makes sense. You're always going to get more yield as time goes by, and as long as you're applying leverage to the action that you're taking. So the other side of the spectrum is exponential growth. And what exponential growth means is that sometime between now and when you start taking any given action, you start getting a one-on-one return, pretty much a symmetrical return to what you're doing. For example, you put one piece of content and you get one follower. You put one piece of content, you get one follower. But there comes a time where you're going to put one piece of content and you start getting 2 followers. Then you put one piece of content, you start getting 3 followers. Okay, you start having exponential returns on the efforts that you put in, okay? Those two things all at once is what content does. And what we can learn from this as entrepreneurs is what I'm going to share with you guys in just a second. And I'm also going to show you why all of this is important when it comes to client acquisition, okay? So guys, as you can see here, what happens when you start posting content on any given platform, for the sake of the example, I'm going to use YouTube, is that you put effort for 1 year straight and you see pretty much no results. By the second year, you start seeing a little bit of an increase. Then by the third year, you basically double down on what you saw in the second year. And then all of a sudden in year 4, you don't only double what you saw from the second year, for example, but you start really skyrocketing everything from here pretty much to the moon, okay? And this is the beauty, guys, is that pretty much you see nothing for all of this time, and then all at once you see everything, okay? And that's pretty much what we learn from content, right? I wanted to show you the actual graph from my YouTube channel, where you can see, like right now I have 701 subscribers, okay? I want you to see something, guys. I started my channel in 2017. Of course, I didn't post any content back then, but I started creating content in the middle of 2021. Now, look at this, guys. This is what's beautiful. 1 year in, okay, at the middle of 2022, I had, if anything, maybe 20 subscribers, okay? 20 subscribers, no business whatsoever coming directly from my YouTube channel. Also, I want to mention something. I am not the best YouTuber out there. I really don't put that much effort in terms of editing when it comes to my videos. And that's, of course, with intention. My goal is not to optimize for entertainment. I optimize for utility. But again, this was pretty much the first year. Now, most people by this point would have given up. But look at what happened literally after that year. Look at the curve, guys, and this is what's beautiful. It's not a curve like this. It's look at the amount of growth that is being experienced every single week, day, and month from there on out. And of course, it's not like again, that I have thousands and thousands of subscribers, but the point I'm trying to make is look at how growth is seen nowadays. And 1 year from now, I don't know where I'm going to be in terms of subscribers. This exponential curve, or in this exponential growth that I'm experiencing right now, is going to be just the normal. It's not going to be the exponential growth. It's going to be actually the baseline. And that's the beauty of the efforts that you put in certain platforms. That's pretty much the first lesson that I want you guys to take from the growth that it's been experiencing in here. And not only here on YouTube, like you can see in any other social media platform. This is why it's so interesting when you start to have an omnipresent approach to your content creation and to your overall brand as a business owner, whatever it is that you do. If you take a look, guys, the same thing that I just showed you guys on my YouTube channel happened on my Twitter. Actually, let me just show you something. I started my Twitter account on September of 2021, very similar to my YouTube channel. And let me just show you, when I got started, look at this. Just a second. I got started on September in 2021. Of course, no followers whatsoever. No followers. On May of 2022, we're talking literally 5 months in, I got 1 follower, okay? June 2022, 19 followers. July 2022, 39 followers. August 2022, 27. You see, like so on and so forth. November in 2022, -7 followers, okay? And what I'm trying to tell you guys is like, all of a sudden, look at this. On February 23rd, boom, 413 followers. March 2023, almost 300 followers, okay? And of course, you guys know me. I literally couldn't care less about followers, subscribers, or anything like that. We're business owners. We care about the cash collected that we make. But of course, we need to maximize attention if we want people to even know that we have an offer to sell, right? And this is why it's so important to always keep in mind the KPI you're going after, okay? And again, I just wanted to show you these 2 examples because these are the two social media platforms that I'm using. But what I want you guys to learn is, number 1, understanding the effect of compounding growth. Because even when I was having just 20 subscribers and when I was losing followers on Twitter, I kept tweeting or I kept posting videos. And that's, first of all, the effects or what yields the compounding growth. And then time does its thing and you get the exponential growth that inevitably are going to come if you might remain consistent on the social media platforms. Again, the biggest lesson here is don't give up when things are rough, because sooner or later things are going to start kicking in and everything's going to be worth it. Now, that was the first part. What we can learn from content marketing and brand building when it comes to client acquisition, like the effects of compounding growth and exponential growth. What I want to walk you guys over now is the effects that the client acquisition engines have when it comes to exponential growth with your content, okay? Because again, everybody starts to talk about, hey, should I do content marketing, or should I do outbound prospecting, or should I do paid advertising, or should I do referrals, or etc., right? I want to break with you guys the actual plan that I want you guys to do depending on where is it that you're at in your journey, okay? So before I talk about timelines, etc., because this is going to be dependent on everybody, okay? For example, if you are just getting started and you have 0 skills whatsoever, it's going to take longer for your business to kick off as if you were a high-ticket closer or or an appointment setter, or if you had some sort of background in any other business whatsoever, okay? But what I want to break down with you guys is that the breaking and the turning point, once you start to experience compounding and exponential growth in your business, now I'm not talking about content marketing now, I'm talking about your business, is once you master the basic skill sets like appointment setting, closing, content marketing, basically that good jazz, and you find product market fit, that's the first requirement for you to start experiencing this type of growth in your business. The second thing, or the second benchmark, is you start to notice that things become easy. Like booking calls all of a sudden is just like, I mean, you can book 5 calls on a day and it's like, hey, this was just a normal day. When in the past, I mean, I remember 2 years ago, 2 years and a half ago, when I hustled my ass off for 2 or 3 months and I booked maybe 1 call, super unqualified, but I still was super excited to know that somebody was thinking that it was worth it to hop on a call with. Nowadays, we book 5, 6, 7 calls on a daily basis, and it's like nothing. For example, you can see here, 3, 4, 5, 6 calls for today, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 calls for tomorrow, 2 calls for Wednesday, 2 calls already for Thursday. So what I'm trying to say is pretty much things become easier, and last but not least, things start to feel boring. And I want you to understand something. When something feels boring, it actually means that it's good, because the problem that most people have is that they pursue excitement. And when you start pursuing excitement, you start changing things up, and then you never actually get a baseline, and very much you get screwed at that point, okay? Once you get to this outcome here is when you can experience exponential and compounding growth. But guess what? You're never going to experience or master the basics or make things to become easy or boring to equal good for you if you don't actually put the time and the effort that allows for the compounding growth and the exponential growth to happen. Hopefully this starts to make sense to you guys. I hope that it does. And listen, what I want you guys to understand is that before this breaking turn happens, again, it could be 6 months, it could be 1 year, it could be 1 year and a half, it could be 2 years, it could be 2 years and a half. It doesn't really matter, guys. Of course, we want to maximize the time between you starting the business and you being able to exponentially grow it. But what I'm trying to say is the following. When you get started with your business, yeah, you want to start doing content because we want to experience and get to live the day where we can just get leads for free, organically, every single day without having to do anything from our social media platforms. But of course, that's going to take time. It's going to take 3 or 4 or even more years. So of course, what we want to do is get started now because we want that day to come as soon as possible. But of course, in the meantime, we need to make some money to feed the family, put food in the table, go out with your girlfriend or with your boyfriend or with your dog, whatever it might be. And what happens over here is that we then need to add in to the equation of content a conversion mechanism that converts the attention from your content and that generates attention by itself so that we can fit into our entire business, right? So at the beginning, the best thing we can do is outbound, okay? So basically, you start having a one-on-one relationship between content and outbound, meaning that, as you can see here, you basically use your content as a lead nurturing tool, not as a lead generation tool. You basically focus on outbound prospecting to get people to raise their hands. You send them some content so that they know that you know what you're talking about, and you close them over there. Of course, it's really hard to increase the exponential growth that you're going to get similar to the content marketing here with outbound, because what you are going to do is, let's say that you have here 1 unit of energy, over here 2 units of energy, 3 units of energy. Every single time that you want to increase your outbound prospecting efforts, you're going to have linear growth in the sense that for you to grow, you need to add more people or double down on the amount of leads that you are scraping, and always are going to basically get lower returns when it comes to your prospecting. But you need to do it because that's the only escape out at the beginning. That way you can validate your offer, etc. But look at this, guys. Once you master basic skill sets, things start to become easy. You basically found product to market fit, and you have some cash flow coming in from the business and the organic prospecting you already made. You start adding ads to the equation. And then without you needing to add more efforts or more weird things, you can just have the one ad that you know that is crushing and just double down on the ad spend, and you start having also exponential growth in here. And then if you have an auto-converting funnel like we typically recommend you guys to do, you are not only going to get the exponential growth from your organic presence, you're also going to get a lot of cold traffic to go into the funnel that you're building. And what you're going to do is basically send all of this exponential growth that you're getting from your paid traffic to your organic growth, and basically it's just game over at that stage, okay? You basically stop the need of having to work at all because you have people going for free into the top of your funnel. Your organic content is going to sell for you 24/7, and you just add maybe 1 or 2 integrators into the equation so that they can convert the attention that you're getting from your organic content and also from your paid traffic that is sending people to organic content. So you're basically getting a 2x exponential and compounding growth happening all at once. And over here, guys, it's just game over at that stage, okay? Hopefully this video gave you some inspiration in case that you were thinking about giving up or something. And for everybody else, if you want to install an auto-converting funnel that allows you to have compounding and exponential growth on your business, as well as basically validating your offer and scale past 30, 40, 50K in the next couple of months, go ahead and book a call with the link in the description. And as always, I want to end up with a recommendation for you guys of a Latin song. And for this video, I want to really recommend a song called Once Once by Alejo and Lega Lyrics. It's a reggaeton, one of my favorite genres. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on Instagram if you listen to it, okay? All right, guys, hopefully this video was helpful. I'll see you guys on the next one.